Obviously, Travis got more snaps on defense last week. Just in terms of where you think he's at, how confident are you that he can take on even more of a load, like even on both sides of the ball?
I probably can't speak for the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive progression has been great. We're certainly trying to use him in controlled settings in certain situations that apply for his skill set, but he's embraced that role and continued to grow kind of week to week.
What's the challenge from series to series, just being able to communicate with him on the sideline? You know, if he's on defense, you can't necessarily give him the adjustments on offense. So when do you guys find the time to do that?
That's part of the reason why we're trying to control when he's out there and where he's out there, or the certain things he's doing, so that way he doesn't have to play every single snap on defense or every single snap on offense. So even if he's on offense and playing the entire series on defense, he's not in every single play, and you can't make those adjustments. So you find those times in the plays that he's not in, the special teams times, to try to prioritize that communication.
The illegal shift penalties last week, how do you clean that up?
Starts in practice, starts in the way we're coaching it. We got to do a better job of emphasizing those details and putting guys in position to go out there and play fast and play clean. Certainly as coaches and players, we all know that that's unacceptable. So it's always a point of emphasis and should always be a point of emphasis, but certainly going into this week, there's extra intention around making sure those don't happen again.
Is that something that just, it's still early in learning the offense, learning the playbook, or in the season and kind of fine-tuning stuff? Or is that just something that popped up?
I certainly think that over the course of the season, that will improve just by the nature of getting more reps and more practice with our operation, different formations, different shifts, different motions, different ways of lining up and executing certain plays. So with reps, that will improve, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those are mistakes we should have. You know, we all know that we got to do a better job in those.
What makes Derek Stingley such a good corner?
Well, there are a lot of things that he does a great job of, whether it's playing man or zone. He's got an ability to track the football, challenge guys at the line of scrimmage, off, with vision, without vision, match routes. Like I said, recovering to track the ball, make plays on the ball, whether it's him going up and getting the ball or breaking up passes, finding it. So he does a lot of things really well, and that's why you see him able to play in a lot of different coverages and make plays.
You guys played a really good end last week. What kind of challenge is it with a team like Houston who has two of those guys?
Certainly a challenge in the sense that you know there's not one guy that you're always going to be throwing at, but it's nice because it allows you to kind of distribute the ball across your receivers, tight ends, backs, because you're not focused on trying to force things to one player as opposed to another. So there are challenges to it, but there are positives to it as well.
Your screen game pop for some big games against Cincinnati. Liam called it, there's a 3-step screen, a 2-step screen, and a set and go. Is the set and go exactly what it sounds like? It just happens quicker than the other two? And how does that work?
Essentially, yes. Setting and going, just trying to get that thing ball out or ball to wherever we're going with those type of set and go screens. The different timings of those screens complement kind of each other, and different run plays or pass plays. So changing up that timing helps not only get the ball in space, but neutralize the rush a little bit with those guys, especially a team like Houston or whoever you're playing, and you got those guys flying off the ball.
Is that a play, are those plays you can only really hone in on when you're in a game in pads, because it's, or can you get it in a walkthrough as well?
It's definitely difficult in the walkthrough, really because of the timing. It's a great point about that. Since the defense and certain players on the defense might be going a little bit faster than another player. For example, if you say we're practicing in a walkthrough or walking through at a 50% tempo, one guy's 50% might be closer to 70%, one guy's might be closer to 40%. So the challenge in walkthrough is real for the offensive line, the blockers, anybody in those screens to find the timing of that. When you get out in the live settings, it's certainly much easier to coach off of those and improve those because you get a real feel for the spacing and the reactions of the defense.
When Brian has a game like he had, what do you guys do as offensive coaches to sort of keep him involved, keep him motivated?
I think the way you approach the game plan is always kind of evolving depending on a week-to-week basis on who we're playing, what we do well, how we can get guys in the best positions to do what they do best. So you kind of go back to the game and reassess what do we do well, what do we not do well, and how can we improve on that. And certainly he's a guy who we want to feature and try to give opportunities to make plays because he does a great job when the ball's in his hand.
You got Milan back in practice Friday, then limited today. What's the wrap-up look like for him this week?
Well, I'll let Liam kind of touch on some of those injury things, but it's been great to have him back there as we continue to progress. Great to see him out there running, moving around. We'll see how he feels, and he's been doing a great job working at that rehab process.
And talking to somebody you guys challenged as a staff this offseason, just the consistency. How have you seen him kind of respond these first 2 weeks?
I think his improvement from the spring, or when we first started even in training camp, is evident on tape with some of the techniques, some of the finish, some of that strain that you see, pass protection, run game. He does a great job with a lot of that stuff. Love to see it. I mean, it pops out on tape when you see him finishing guys, finishing downfield, coming off the ball in the run game with his great sets, striking guys in the pass protection game. So it's been exciting to see his progression, and as we continue to work throughout the season, hopefully we can continue to build on that.
How good in pass blocking is LaQuint Allen?
Quint's awesome in pass blocking to have out there, because in the sense that he will go out there and strike, and is a physical guy who's not afraid of contact by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, probably the opposite of afraid of contact. He almost embraces it. For a guy that size to be that physical and that aggressive is awesome to see.
Is that normal for a rookie running back to be that good in pass pro?
I don't know if that's normal for anybody to approach contact the way he does, but I know it's a lot of fun for me to watch and the rest of the guys to see it.
I mean, how helpful is that for you to have a guy that's like that with that sort of skill set to work with?
What he's done in that protection game is exciting, but what he's done in the run game too, and the pass game, catching passes, really everything, the way he's embraced the offense, learning all of his different roles as a back who might not be the guy on first and second down getting every carry, has been a ton of fun. He comes to work with a smile on his face, ton of energy. I wouldn't say he attacks his studying the same way, because he's not quite as physical as he does his pass protection, but he has the same enthusiasm for it, which is awesome.
Parker had a lot of yak on his block catch last week. How impressive is his shiftiness when he does get into space like that?
Yeah, his shiftiness poses a challenge for defenders, whether it's safeties, corners, linebackers matched up against him. The other great thing that he's done is go up and be able to track the ball and get the ball. We talked about it a little bit in training camp, him making plays when the ball's thrown his way, making acrobatic catches, going up there and competing for the ball when it's in the air. But when the ball's in his hand, getting vertical, trying to make plays right after the catch is just another facet to his game, and what makes him one of our guys we want to get the ball to.
It seems like Bashal just avoids negative runs. He's always getting some kind of positive yardage. How valuable is that for the offense, just staying ahead of the chains?
Absolutely, hugely valuable. I don't have the percentages off the top of my head, but when you look at an offense that's 2nd and 8 versus 2nd and 12, your chances of conversion are drastically different to get a first down there. So his ability to keep those chains moving or keep positive runs on the table for us has been great. And then of course you see the speed to hit the big one when he has that opportunity. Thanks, guys.